Hello, today I want to talk about how I got to experience a helicopter ride as well as spending about 3 hours on a glacier in Juneau, Alaska. So I was on a Law of Attraction Abraham-Hicks cruise, Alaska cruise with Celebrity Millennium. They have excursions that are exclusive to the group. It's a really fun tour. I highly recommend it. It's out of Juno, so it's about a 40-minute drive to the place. They provide you with everything that you need. So when you check in, you do a fitting, and they provide you with clothing, so windbreakers, pants, jackets, gloves, shoes or boots, and then clips to go on the boots so that you can walk on the glacier. It takes maybe about an hour or so. From the check-in, you take a helicopter, and it's a tiny helicopter, so it can only fit 5 people. So the pilot and then 4 other people. What they do is they have to balance out the helicopter, so I don't know how it works, but they end up putting the smallest person, which was me, in the front, and then 3 people at the back. The pilot was a female from Belgium. I was so happy I got to sit in front because I got like 360 views, and then I got to see all the action and how the pilot maneuvers the helicopter. Basically, like all the tools that she uses. So I got some front seat action, and then you also get to see bird's eye view of Juno from the helicopter going to the glacier and then going back. She kind of takes you on a different route going back so that you can get to see all the views. Once we got to the glacier, we spent about 2.5 hours there, walking around on different parts of the glacier, learning about how people live in Alaska, and learning about environmental studies and glaciers. So there's 2 environmentalists that lead the tour, and they actually camp out on the glacier. So they're always there. I don't know if they work in shifts and then get shifted out, but they have a camping ground so that they can stay on the glacier. I found it to be extremely cold, I guess because I'm South African and I'm not used to that type of extreme weather, because in our winters it doesn't snow. It only snows on the mountain peaks. And the coldest that it ever gets is about 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. So I guess if you were American and you were used to like snowy winters or really cold winters, you wouldn't find it to be cold. But I did. I was also probably the only one wearing a jacket under the clothing that they provided. So just take this into consideration if you're going to do this tour. So I have a little bit of a fear of heights. It's not that bad. I feel like it's gotten worse over the years, but it's not that bad. Like I still fly, and it doesn't stop me from doing things. But I'm not gonna lie, knowing that I was gonna do this helicopter tour, I was a bit afraid because I've never had the opportunity to take a helicopter ride. So before the tour, I sat in the bar for about an hour after breakfast. I had a really big breakfast just to prepare myself and so that I didn't get hungry. And then I sat at the bar. I had about 3 glasses of Baileys, and I asked the bartender to add whiskey to it because I really just needed to calm my nerves for when I had to get on the helicopter. Once I was in the helicopter, I realized it actually wasn't that bad. It was a bit scary because it's such a small craft. But I guess I was also so in awe of the views and of the pilot and the skills she had just to be able to maneuver this small helicopter. I guess I forgot about my fear of heights. So I guess it wasn't really that bad after all. One thing I have to mention is that it was so noisy. That thing made a hell of a noise. So what they do is they give you earphones or earplugs. I don't know what it's called. Just so that to protect your ears from the noise. And then each earphone has a mic attached to it. So if you wanted to talk to anybody else, then you were still able to talk to the person and then be able to hear them over the noise. I'm actually just going to put the sound on one of these videos just so that you can hear exactly how noisy it is. Once we were on the glacier, it was just so peaceful and really beautiful, and it almost felt unreal, like I was in a simulation. Everything was just so picturesque and bright and blue, and yeah, I can't describe the feeling. But I feel like all of us, and we were a small group, there was only 7 of us in the group, and then 2 guides. We actually went with, I forgot to mention that we went with 2 helicopters, and we were all part of the Abraham-Hicks group. So I feel like we were all mostly quiet because we were all just like having a moment and taking it all in and appreciating the experience. It was just an amazing experience. I definitely recommend this tour, and I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to do it. I felt so blessed and fortunate that I was able to travel, and not just travel but do a cruise, and then also take part in a tour like this. For me, it was definitely a life-changing experience. And also the fact that I got to do this in the middle of COVID. Words and pictures can't describe or do justice to the actual experience. It was also lovely to get to meet and interact with other people that were part of the Abraham-Hicks group. It was about a half an hour helicopter ride there and back, half an hour back, and then we had to check out and give them back the gear. And oh, they also give you a walking stick. 40-minute ride back. By the time I got back, it was already starting to get dark, and we had to board the ship so that they don't leave without us. So I never got a chance to explore the port of Juno, but from the cruise terminal it looked like it was a very pretty port. They have other excursions that you can do, and what I did see was an eagle from a distance, which is also really cool because they're really huge and we don't have eagles in South Africa, so I got to see that. I would most likely do another Alaska cruise. Maybe I could find a good deal with some other cruise line, but I enjoyed the cruise so much that I will definitely do the cruise again, and then hopefully I could experience the port of Juno. Actually made another video of the other ports, the other cruise ports, so be sure to check out that video. And then I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you on the next video.